Yeah, good evening, everyone. Hope I'm audible and everyone could see my screen here. Yes, okay, great. So, yeah, yesterday, what are we discussing, guys? We have started
Json.
with our JSON object. We have seen the advantages what we have with the JSON over the array data structure. We know how do we store the data into the JSON. We have seen the complex structure of the JSON object where it can store sub objects also. And how do you retrieve the data from the JSON? We have seen the memory structure of the JSON object, how it is getting created in the form of an array, and how do you iterate over a JSON object. If you don't know the object structure, you don't know what are the key and value pairs, and you want to iterate over the JSON. So we have seen how do we do that, right? So hope everyone is clear, or no questions until yesterday's class. No questions, right?
Nope.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, so the next part is, before going with the next topic, as I said you yesterday, we have to start our project part, guys. Okay, so let us have a small look on the project, what we need to do. Why this 7 a.m. has come into the picture again? What is this 8:30 August? 8:30 August has to be deleted. Social 10 has to be deleted. 1 second, guys. Okay, so while it going. So if you go into your Git, there is a folder called as project markup. So if you open this project markup, this is a very simple, not in the professional way, but at least I just created the images like this. Okay, in general, when you go into the real time, the mockups will be more professional, like they give you the complete information, what is the width and height of the header, what background color, hash code, every other info they give you. So I just gave you a brief idea, just a bit of information on what need to be done. So this project, what we are going to do is for a simple online shopping application. As you got much experience with the existing online shopping applications like Amazon, Flipkart, etc. and all. Okay, so based on the experience, you can go and develop these type of these screens here. So when you see the very first screen, what I have is I have a home page. On the header at the bottom, we have a header and the footer. Footer need to be center, header need to be center. You can put the title whatever you want for your application, and you need to put a logo. Okay, so whatever the logo you can find, you can simply find it out and you can add it over there. And in between of the container, it should be in the center where it is asking for the username and password. You need to have an eye icon also. Once you click on that guy, you should be able to see the password. So that functionality need to be added. And along with login, sign up and forward password buttons. And once you click on the sign up, okay, if you click on the sign up, so you have to open the same page, which is having the same type of header and footer, but in between the box changes to like this: username, password, confirm password, mobile ID, email ID, and all. And once you click on submit, it has to be redirected back to the login page. And once you click on forgot password, you will be having the page something like this. I'm not creating the complete page here, but you need to take after this. Like on the top, you'll be having a header. At the bottom, you have a footer. In between the box should be having the email ID following with the done button. Okay. On the top, you keep going. And once you click on the login page, you will be having the list of products, something like this. Okay, so you will be having the product details. On the left side, you have the category list. like whatever the categories, men's clothes, women for whatever the category you have, and the right side you have the product, individual product. At the very right, you will be having the view details. So here I just added a product, but you can add some product images. Okay. And on the top, once you click on the particular men's cloth, you will be seeing only the men's cloth details along with the pagination. And if you click on the individual product, you should be able to see the page something like this. Okay, individual product, you will be having the product image. At the bottom, you have the list of images of the same product. Whatever the image you click, that has to be shown on the page. And at the right side, you will be getting the complete product details. Okay. So this is what need to be designed. At the bottom, you have an admin page also. How do we add the products? But we'll go one by one. I want you guys to create these pages here. So any questions on this? One thing is right now, anything which is DHTML code, or if you ask me a question, how do you read the data from the user? How do you redirect the page? Those things we haven't done, but at least up to whatever you can do, you simply do that, guys. Okay. So after you do your project, I'm expecting you guys under the 8 p.m. September folder, under the public, under the others folder, I want you to create a new folder called as project. Okay. Under the project, you create your individual folder names as you guys have done for the assignments the same way. Okay. And that folder should contain the product of project, whatever you have. And when you are doing the project, you should able to, what I'm expecting is every HTML page or every CSS code or every JavaScript code should be a separate external files. I think I haven't discussed about with you. I haven't discussed anything about the external CSS, but I will do that. You start working on the pages. The time when I'm going keep on updating the topics, you can implement the same thing in your projects also. For now, every page is a static page, no dynamic content, because we haven't finished the DHTML part. Okay. So any questions on the top regarding the project?
Sir, if we'll do separate file for CSS, HTML and JavaScript, then how can we implement that one with, like, we can connect that one?
Okay, right now, Kumkum, what you can do is create a simple page. Single page for now, because I haven't shown you how to link the external files to a single page. If you have an idea, you can start, but I'm going to share that because when I come to the DHTML, then I'm going to discuss about those. So I will tell that. For now, you can create a single page. Under that, you can put all the content.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Okay, sir.
Any other questions?
Sir, we can create single pages.
Individual pages, login.html, signup.html, forgot password.html, create your individual pages.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone puts the extra efforts on the project, guys. Implementing the project is really important. The better, the more the efforts you put on the project, the more the experience you will get in the form of real time. Because till now, how we are learning the topics is like in a scattered way, like this topic, and this topic. Project is the place where you're going to combine all of them and you're going to implement it. So that is the reason. It's take it as a serious note. Don't just take it light. Try to put the extra efforts and try to spend some extra time in solving the project. As I said I will be giving the 100% guidance. Anytime you can ping me and you can ask me the questions on the project. If it is needed, I can even set up a one-to-one call with you guys and I can see the screen. I can help you guys in getting the things done. Okay. Fine. So that's about, and one more thing, guys, the look and feel show your capability or show your creativity. I'm never specifying that header should be only something like this, footer should be something like this. No. If you, the more the creativity you are, the more the implementation you can do. So any way you want it, you can simply change the look and feel. I just want the functionality. That's it. Okay. I want a page which is having the login ID, password with these buttons. Now, how do you show them? How better you show them? It's up to you. Okay. So please do that, guys. Start working on that. Okay. This is about the project. Is my changes are ready? Why this branch is not defined? Why my bin folder? Okay, I'll feel free to.
Excuse me, sir.
Fine. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Sir, in this project login password page, sir, if we put some credentials, then where it will save, sir? Because we need to give database also, no, sir, connection.
That is the reason I asked this, Chetan, something called we create a static page. Just a simple page which is taking some ID and password. On click, it is not going to do anything because we haven't even seen the topic of on click. How do you read the data? How do we validate the data, right? So once
Yes,
we cover those topics, then you can implement that. So by that time, you can get ready with the static pages. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, password should be only caps and some special letters. How can we do that, sir?
That is the validation part here, which we haven't again yet covered. We have to go to the DHTML part. That is the reason I was keep on telling this. We are going to create only the static pages. If you want to put the validation like these many characters, it has to have, it should have a caps, etc. stuff. For that, we need to finish the DHTML concepts. Okay. So the next
User
part.
ID. How do I will get to user ID, sir?
Sorry, what was that, ma'am?
User ID.
Ma'am, I said that to create a page which is having a simple header and the footer, and between you have the ID and password. That's it. On click of the button, nothing is happening.
Okay.
You can put any junk. Just click on OK. It is not doing anything. Just simply page is there. Okay.
Sir.
Just do that. After that, once we finish the DHTML part, how do we read the data from the user? After we finish that, then you could able to validate it. How do we get the user data? How do you take the data and pass to the Ajax call or the web service to pass it to the server? How the server is reading the data, putting into the database? Those things we keep moving one by one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next part, what we have coming back to the yesterday's class, we are done with the JSON object. We have seen the complexity or complex structure, how JSON is capable of storing the data. How do you retrieve? How do you easily retrieve the data? So those are all stuff we had look into, right? So the next part, what we have is, let us see how do we inject behaviors to a JSON object. Okay. Remember yesterday I asked you guys to work with the student details with a JSON object. Hope you guys got a chance to do that.
Yes,
No?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So let us say some student details with JSON underscore behavior.html. Okay. So again, these all are important topics, guys. So put some alert. Be attentive.
Sir, shall we wind up the class early today, sir? Is there any possibility?
Okay, sure, Deepika. Because of Diwali?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll wind up the class early and tomorrow we'll join early, right?
No, sir.
Sure, ma'am, I'll do that.
That
Yeah,
sounds
thank
great.
you so
I'll
much.
just
Starting early
finish this
tomorrow.
topic of behavior, then I'll wind it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure. So let's go with this guy. Say, for example, I would like to go with the student details here. Let us say where s data is equal to a JSON object. Okay. Under that, we simply say s name. Okay. Something like empty. I'm not giving anything. S age, empty here. Or else, shall we do one thing? Let's put some hard-coded data. Later, we make it as a dynamic data. Okay. So I say S name, Mr. Raj. I say age some 20. Say some gender, male. Location, something called as Hyderabad. Okay. Let us say some marks is equal to array of 34, 56, 28, and 90. Okay. Is it is equal to a colon?
Colon.
Colon, not interested to say this. Total. Okay, let us say make it as 0. AVG is 0. Okay. Now I would like to write a piece of function. We know that everything has to be modularized, right? Now I say where get total and avg is equal to a piece of method. Okay, I'll put a for loop for where I is equal to 0, I less than as data dot marks dot length and I plus plus. Okay, I need to say as data dot total plus is equal to as data dot marks of I. Is everyone clear with this looping? No
Yes, sir.
question?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. S data dot avg is equal to S data dot total divided by S data dot marks dot length. Got it? Now I have where get grade. Okay, now I have the get grade here. Now I would like to say if at all the S data dot avg is greater than or equal to 40, I say S data dot grade is equal to U passed. If this is not the case, I'm just going with a simple two options here. S data dot grade is equal to you have a surprise. Okay, I have this grade system in the same way where display data is equal to something like this. I say console.log student details, console.log student name is plus s data dot s name it is, yes,
Yes, name.
console.log age is plus s data dot sh. In the same way, console.log total is plus s data dot total, console.log avg is plus s data dot avg, console.log grade you got is plus s data dot grade. Now the very first, okay, any questions on this, guys? Anyone? Are you guys clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We
sir.
have written a simple object here, student details object. Now we are writing individual methods where every method is capable of working on the particular object details. Okay, no scattered data. We have individual methods here. Super fine. Now the very first question what I have is, do you see I haven't created a grade object, grade key under the S data, but here I'm creating S data dot grade here. Is it is possible or not? I haven't created a grade key inside this, but here I'm making use of the grade object. I'm assigning a value to this. Is it is possible or not? Yes
Yes,
or
sir.
no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, possible.
Yes, sir. It
Yesterday
automatically.
we have already shown that while creating a object, while inserting the data, you don't need to create the keys. You can simply say object.key equal to simply you can just assign the value. Okay, it automatically creates the key dynamically. Okay, super fine. Now if you save this, now what is the first thing you need to say? You need to call these methods. I need to say display data. I'm simply calling the display data. On the top, this guy will call this get total and average. Okay, this get grade will be called by this guy. I say get grade. Okay, we know that a function can call another function. Why I'm not passing any parameters and returning values? Why the reason?
Global variable.
Global object. It is S data is a global object. Anyone can make use of it. It's not a private data. It's a public data, right? So now if you save this guy, come back on here, open this guy in the browser, cancel, inspect this guy, inspect this, go to the console. Now if you see, I have the student details, name, age, total, average, and the grade is passed. Super fine, very good. So any questions? Now you got the difference earlier, how we used to define the student data. Now how we are very clear by gathering the things into an object, or we are binding the data in the form of an object. Now you are clear here?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Anyone,
sir.
any questions? Can we move forward?
Yep, you can move forward.
Okay, nice. Now, the next part, what we have is, can you tell me why the reason I'm binding all this data into an object? Why I'm putting the name, age, gender, location, marks, total, and average into an object? The reason is,
Yeah,
it is relative information. It's a relative content. It belongs to a particular category of student details. We are grouping all of them and keeping within the JSON object. Okay, that's very good. But if I ask you a question, boss, if you clearly see what actually the get, total, and average method is doing, is it not doing the job of the student details itself? It is not the functionality, the behavior. It is not holding the data. It is holding the behavior, the functionality. Is it not doing the job of for the student details itself? Yes. Is it not this get grade system is working on the student data? Isn't it that behavior belong to the student data itself? Yes. Is it not this display data working on showing the data of the students? Is it not should be part of the student details itself? Yes. Now, when all these functionalities or the behavior are working on the student object itself, why the reason they are defined outside of the object? Why can't they be part of a JSON object itself? Okay, when you say that these properties are belonging to the same student details of the same category, you are grouping and making it as an object. Now these functionalities also belonging to the student details. Why the hell you're putting it them outside? Why don't you keep it inside the JSON object itself? Now let us take this key. I say get total and average something called as 90. Is it is possible or not? Can I put a key called as get total and average? Can I assign a key to it? Can I assign a value like 90 to it? Yes or no? Come on, guys, please respond.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, it is like a simple variable. It is like a simple key or a simple variable name. Yes, it's simply assigning a 90 value to this. Now, can I assign something called as true to this? Yes. Can I
Yes.
assign something
Yes, sir.
called as Raj to this? Yes, because these
Yes,
all are the
yes.
data types. Can I assign something called as undefined to this? Yes, because undefined is
Yes.
also one of the data type in JavaScript. Now, can I assign a function to this guy? Because
Sure.
functions are key data types within the JavaScript. Can I assign a function? Yes.
Yes.
Instead of this
Yes.
function, can I put an arrow function to this guy? Yes. Now you move your behavior into this guy. Now this get total and average is working on the student details. That is the reason get total average is also part of the JSON object. In the same way, can I move this get grade system to this guy,
Yes.
comma, so and so? Instead of equal to, it will be colon because it's a JSON object key. In the same way, can I move this display data, take out this guy, keep this guy inside this? Now it will be just a colon. Any questions in this piece of code from line number 21 to 43?
Sir, wouldn't the data be, well, not secure as such?
Why? It is more secure, right? Now, when you say you have the data, assume a practical example, assume you have some piece of gold. You have a gold, say there are 5 pieces of gold pieces you have. You are putting in a secured box. The person who is taking the gold and doing some, he is working, he's a, what do you say that, he's an expert on taking the piece of a block of gold and he will turn to an ornament. Now you're securing the gold, but you're giving the gold to that guy. He is taking outside, he is converting into ornament, returning back to you. But when it is outside, then the data is not secure, right? The concept of making the ornament, if you put that guy also into your box, obviously it is more secured. Even you're not even allowing the functionality to go outside. It is also part of the object itself. Now you just need to protect the object. That's it. Earlier, object is different, functionalities are different. Now everything is part of an object. Am I clear, Raj? I mean,
Yeah,
did that
yeah.
example help you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any more questions? Come on, guys. Any piece of question, please let me know. I can help you in understanding. Don't just sit idle. These are very, very, very important. I know we are just moving forward. The reason why I'm always going with the student details, you know the reason? The thing is, we are converting the data. I mean, I want you to show the different flavors, how you are upgrading the piece of code. Initially, we are declaring individual variables. Later, we turn into arrays. Later, we turn into dynamical reading the data. Later, we turn into individual objects. Now it is objects with the behavior also. Now, if you see student data means an object. Now, can I remove all this? Yes. Now, if you see the student object, an object with the list of properties with all the functionalities inside it. This is what we call it as a object-oriented programming. Now, anything in the universe, whenever you say in the programming world, everything has to be treated as an object. Every object will have its properties and its behavior. Practical example, let us take a fan. A fan, what are its properties? Properties are physical attributes, what you can see. I can see the color, it's a property. I can see the number of wings, it's a property. What is the engine speed? A property. What is the motor type? What is the brand name? It's a property. What are its behavior? Which actually works. A fan can rotate faster. It is the behavior, functionality. A fan can stop when you move the button to stop. It's a functionality. A fan can rotate faster, speeder, slower. Like these all things are called as behaviors. Let's take a practical example of a car. A car is having some number of tires. It is a property. Steering, one, it's a property. Number of gears, automatic or manual, it's a property. Now, what are its behavior? A car can go, I mean, you can drive fast, it can stop, you can put on the brakes. What are its functionality? We call it as a behavior. Now, in the same way, student details, name, age, gender, these all are called as properties. Behaviors are how do you calculate the total, how the student is behaving in the exams, how do you calculate the grade system, how do you show the data? These all comes under the behaviors or functionality. So any data, whatever you use from today, everything should be in the form of an object, no scattered data, no individual variables. Okay. Now, the only thing is, now when I'm calling this display data from outside, can I call the display data directly? Can I access the data of an object outside of the
No.
object directly? Do I need to make use of the
Is
No.
data dot
name
Yes, sir.
dot display data? Yes.
Yes, sir.
In the same way, when I am saying this get grade, do I need to say as data dot get grade here? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Can I say as data, what else? Where else? Okay, this data. Here, can I say as data dot so and so? Yes. Now, if you save this guy, come back over here and reload the page. Everything is going to be the same. Output is same, but the code wise, the way you are defining the code, it's more professional. It's purely object oriented programming. We have started working on that. Now the assignment, what I'm expecting from you all is employee details, the same thing. Take all the employee data. Now, you know, I want you to take another, the same example. I don't even want to put this hard-coded data. Can you write another method? Get student details is another function. Okay. Now, under this, can you guys read this data instead of hard coding the data? Can you expand this guy?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
try that as an assignment, guys. I want this get student details. Now, no hard coding this data. You can read the data. Now, from outside, you simply call the get student details. Remaining all will go forward. Okay, try on that. Now, on the top, there is another important feature of your JSON object, which is called as this keyword. Okay, so what do you mean by this keyword? Let me give you a practical example. Let us say I have my home. Under my home, I have some items.
Sir,
Like some
I have a
TV.
question, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, JSON object is called a data format. So we use in the REST API also. So it here you shows it contains also behavior Okay, so we can send behavior also like in REST API.
Yes, we can do that. Whenever we are passing the data from one place to another place, when we are using the JSON object, we can even pass on the behavior also. But in general, we don't do that. In
Okay, sir.
general, when we are passing on the data, because the reason why we don't go with the functionality being passed in the REST APIs is when I know that that is the behavior, unnecessarily increasing the network bandwidth, which is anyway, you know that. Why don't you define it within your local machine itself? So that is the reason we don't exchange the behavior actually. Because do you see, I have one of the student data. You have a concept of how do you calculate the total and average. You take the second student data. The details are different, but the behavior are same or not? Agree, Shankar?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So that is the reason when you know that behavior is same, I take 1,000 students, name, age, gender, location, marks, and total average might different, but behavior, 1,000 student, 2,000 student, 1 million student, the behavior will be always same, right? That is the reason they define the behavior in the local machine. I mean, at the client side itself, they only exchange the data in the case of your API calls. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I
So,
have a question. This
yes.
data together, it is a JSON object, right? Or individually, like S name, S age, gender, individually they are considered as an object here.
No, right? Now, can I say S name colon Raj is an object? No. Any
It's a
which is called as
properties.
an object.
Together, it is an object.
Object is collection of multiple key value pairs.
Okay.
Clear, Pavita? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Next. So yeah. So the next part, what we have is this keyword, guys. I know, I mean, a lot of people have this confusion. I mean, the same concept when you have in the Java or C++. So let me give you one simple example. Then I'll go with this operator here. Now, when I'm accessing this get total average, under this get total and average, I'm using something called as sdata dot. Okay. Before going for this, what object does this get total and average belongs to? What object does this get total and average belongs to? As data
Yes,
only?
data.
Yes, super fine. Now you come to the practical example. I say I have my home. Okay. Under my home, I have some items like some TV, fridge, some bike, or bed, etc. One of my friend is coming to my home. He's saying that whose TV it is. If I answer, it is Prasad's TV or my TV. Is it is both same or not?
Both same.
Yes.
Both same, sir.
Same.
Same, right? In my home, when the student, when my friend is in my home, when he asks about this objects, I don't need to keep on repeat my name, something called Prasad's TV, Prasad's bed, Prasad's bike, Prasad's car, or Prasad's home. I don't need to say that. I simply say that my TV, my fridge, my bed, my room, etc. stuff. Now, when I go to my friend's home, assume like his name is Raj. Now, he says that he has his TV, fridge, etc. and all. When I ask him like whose TV, does he need to say Raj TV, Raj bed, or Raj fridge, or he can simply say my TV, my fridge, or my bed? Obviously, my key can be used.
Yes, sir.
Now, in the both scenarios, my indicate,
Pronounce.
when I say my, in the sense, when it is in my home, my indicates Prasad's information. When it is in my friend's home, my indicates the friend's information. It is not mine everywhere. It's all depends upon the location where actually, or within the environment where you are using it. Okay. In the same way, whenever you are going to access the data of the same object within the object, its behavior itself, you are trying to access the student data from a method which is also belonging to the S data. I don't need to say S data. I can simply say this dot. This indicates the current object reference. this indicates current object reference. Instead of using the object name, you can simply say this dot so and so. Here I can say this dot so and so. Here I can say this dot so and so. I'm not using this here just to show you the difference. Either you can make use of the this object, or you can make use of the object name, because this indicates current object. Okay, when I say something called as this dot grade, which grade it is, this indicates where I am current object as data. Obviously, it is indirectly as data dot grade here. So you can simply say this dot. Now here inside, okay, I can say student data. I can say this dot. I can say this dot. I mean anything. Anytime you are accessing the object data within the same behavior of the object, instead of object name, you can simply say this dot. Now, when I'm coming to line number 51, can I say this dot at line number 51?
No.
No.
No, sir.
Why? When I say this dot, where I am, I'm outside. I'm not part of an object now. In this case, for sure, you say as data. Now, when I'm taking all my items and I'm putting on the road, now I cannot say, like, say, for example, every of my friends are getting the items and they are putting on the road. Now, there I cannot say my, because my indicates a lot of things are there. There I specifically should say Prasad's dot so and so items. Now, when you're outside of the object, you need to say object name dot so and so. But you are within the object, you can simply say this as a indirect way of referring the current object. This indicates a predefined keyword which will refer the current object properties or behavior, whatever it is. Am I clear?
So this keyword only working on
Yes,
the
sir.
function.
This keyword only?
Working on the function or anywhere?
Not the function, right? It is within the object, right?
In between the object, in between the object means in only arrow functions or another functions?
Any type of function.
Inside object where you want.
Okay.
Wherever you want the properties within the object under the behavior, either you define the behavior in the form of function keyword or arrow keyword, arrow functions, whatever it is, it can be accessible using this operator.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
More questions?
Sir, can this be used in multiple objects, and will it not get like confused or something?
That's a good question. Now let us say, for example, this is as data, right? I say something called as where emp data is equal to a JSON object. I say name, something called as some Thena. I say display emp info. Now I put a function here. I say console.log name is plus this dot name. Okay. Now I say emp data dot display info. Now if you come back and reload the page, am I getting the name get total average is not a function? What happened to this guy? Oh, okay. Right now you cannot make use of the arrow.
Sir, I think you disconnected.
Hello, sir.
Guys, just give me a second. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
No, guys, have you created a WhatsApp group?
What?
Have you created WhatsApp group?
Oh, I thought you were asking me. No, I'm not a part of WhatsApp group. Yeah.
Do we have 2 days holidays?
I think it's 1 day.
It's only for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, by the way, guys, happy Diwali.
Thank
Thank
you.
you and same to you, bro.
Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali, everyone.
Raja bro, happy Diwali.
Thanks, guys.
Happy Diwali to everyone.
Guys, can anyone tell me that password with that icon to show that password? How can we add that?
I was not looking at the video when he said it, but I don't exactly know what he was referring to. But once I go back through the video, maybe I can help. Is that okay?
Sure, bro. We can see in some login forms, right? If we click on that icon, we can show it shows our password what we are typing.
Oh, okay. So it's basically like a
That's
mask.
what I'm saying.
Sir
Yeah.
hasn't talked about icons yet, I guess. I mean, he hasn't taught us that, I think.
Yeah. Although he hasn't showed us about icons, what he did tell us was how to put in pictures and whatnot. So you can use the information for the pictures potentially to position where he's showing the icons and whatnot, and maybe that could work.
But
Yeah,
we have to
but
put some logic, right?
yeah, we can't put any
Yeah.
logic now. We don't know how to do that.
Yeah. On
I guess we'll just put an image, something like that.
Yeah, you can put in a small image.
Yeah.
I've done it on a couple of projects when I sent it over as assignments for Sir. I've sent it over to him already. So although I did not upload most of my projects onto the server yet, maybe it'll be good, if I do that fairly soon.
Guys, I'm back. Okay. Is there any discussion going on? Can I pause for some time?
No, sir, not important.
No, yeah, carry on.
I had one doubt actually.
Go ahead, please.
So you have created a JSON and you have created a methods inside that one, and you have embedded a JavaScript code. I know that one. The browser can understand this JavaScript code. In the same way, can we embed any other language same as like this? We can use it.
Okay, so in that case, now when I inject, assume like we have injected some Java code or C language code or C++. Who can actually understand the Java code? Do you need to have the JVM or JRE environment? Yes. If we inject the C language or C++, do I need to have the Turbo C compiler who can understand this? You can inject it only if the guy or the place where you're executing that code, that guy has to understand that piece of information. Now, when I put that code into the browser, does the browser understand that? No. Does the browser understand the Java, C or C++, any programming language? No. That is where you will get the error. Now, when I'm putting something called as alert, when I give it to the browser is simply pulling a pop-up. Why so? Because browser knows that what do you mean by alert? Because it knows how do we execute the JavaScript code. Now, if I give the system.out.println of Java, it doesn't know what do you mean by system. I simply throw you an error. Okay. Did I answer your question, Giri? Yes, so
yes, but in the same way, can we use it in I mean, the execution part won't be in the browser, but if it is in their own environment, like in Java environment where those JRE is there, at least there we can use it in this way, in this manner. I mean, I haven't seen this kind of a thing, so that is the reason I'm asking. This might be
we can do
a
that. Like
proprietary
in
tool
Java,
only for the
in your
Java.
yeah. Okay. When you come to your Java, if Java is supporting the JSON object, the behavior of a JSON object in Java can hold the Java content. You can do that if it is the Java environment. If it is the browser environment, I say no. If it is your own environment or Java environment also, you can do that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Any more questions?
Sir, I've got a question. It's regarding the project that you put forward. In terms of fav icons, I have put in a few fav icons on my previous assignments, but can we create a GIF format, like, a movable fav icon?
In general, when you have the 5 icons, it is not recommended to go with the, not the Gmail, let us go for google.com, let us say Amazon. If you see all the fav icons, you see, those are like, in general, they keep the fav icons as a static icons because people don't want to interrupt the user work. When you have something moving over here, I don't think it is not recommended. It is recommended.
Okay. Because I know that only Firefox, you can do it only in Firefox, but you can't do it on other.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Most of the pages, it is not recommended actually to put the fav icons in the header bar, because when I say header bar, it's common for the complete environment, complete platform. So if the user is interested to go into your web page, in the web page, you do whatever you want. If the user interests, he'll be staying. Otherwise, he'll get out. But if you open the page on the tab, if the fav icon of the GIF is doing something movements, it might affect the user interaction. So that is the reason mostly not recommended to put the GIFs under the header bar. Okay.
Okay.
So coming back to this, guys. So hope everyone is clear. Or am I in between any of the topic? Or am I done with the explanation?
No, sir. This one for using this for
You
multiple
are
objects.
saying that. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So what I have done is I just kept the EMP data here. Now you come to the EMP data, reload the page. Yeah. What I was saying is here from ECMA 6, right? What we need to do is we need to define the function, arrow function in a different way. We can just define like this. This is what we do from your ECMA 6. Okay, that is the reason it is saying it's an issue. But as we haven't discussed anything about the ECMA 6 for now, I will keep, instead of arrow function, I will put the normal function. Okay, you don't have a problem now. It's a normal function I'm putting, because arrow function is from the ECMA 6. In ECMA 6, once you put the object inside, behavior inside the object, you don't need to use this keyword section. Okay, now I did this. Now I come back and reload the page. Now you see, name is empty, what I got. Why so? Name is this dot name. Why this name is not, okay, this is arrow function again. Okay, now if you come back and reload the page, now if you see, am I getting this schema here? Yes. No, that is what I said, right? When I'm using this, in what environment I'm using, in what object I'm using, in what behavior I'm using, display info, what object it belongs to? It belongs to EMP data. Now you try to access the name of the EMP data. That is how it differentiates. That is what the example I said you, right? If I'm in my home, I say my objects. When I'm going to my friend's home, he will say that my. Here both are my. That doesn't indicate those things are mine, right? The place or the platform where you're using that my keyword, which will actually differentiates here. So when I'm using this object into current object, my current object is EMP data. That is how you get the EMP data info. If you are using the other object, you use the this operator, that is where it will be useful. Did I answer your question, Kumkum? Are you clear now?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, fine, guys. So let's pause for today then. So this is what the objects and behaviors. Do the complete, do some enough practice on the employee details with all the PF, HRA generation and all, and try to put the data dynamically reading from the user. Okay. And yeah, so let's pause for today. We'll sign off for today. We'll meet again back on Friday. Okay.
Happy Diwali, sir.
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 Thank you all. Thank you so much for your warm wishes. Wish you a
Happy Diwali.
Thank you, sir.
Wish you very happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali, sir.
Hello,
okay,
sir.
Yes, Pavani. Happy Diwali.
Yeah, happy Diwali to you, sir. Sir, can you tell?
Yeah, Pavani. Go ahead, please.
Actually, sir, I have joined late, sir. Can you repeat for 2 minutes? Means whatever you explained, so that I will read.
Okay, nothing,
If
Pavani,
any doubt,
actually, yeah. Earlier, actually, what we used to do is we used to define the object with individual properties. and the behavior as a separate part. Now we have seen how do we inject the behavior to the object. That is what the simple topic we have discussed today.
First of all, what is behavior?
Behavior is the functionality. Okay, behavior
Sir,
is
my
the
children want to wish you happy Diwali, it seems.
Yeah,
Just
sure. I think so. Happy Diwali, kids.
Happy Diwali. Happy Diwali, sir.
Happy Diwali, guys.
Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Happy Diwali, one and all.
Yeah. Happy Diwali once again to everyone, guys, and wish you a safe Diwali. And we'll meet back on Friday. Okay, Pavani, if you have questions, you can ping me personally. I can reply back to your questions. Okay.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay, sir.
Everyone have already started the Diwali celebration, so let's pause.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay, sir.
Have a good day, all guys.